Hi guys, Green Gloves here and welcome to my first review. Bronson. Bronson is based on a true story about Michael Peterson's alter ego Charlie Bronson. And the plot of the story is Michael Peterson steals from the post office, ends up in jail, fights guards, gets released from jail, does more fighting, becomes Charlie Bronson, ends up in jail again, does art for a bit, then ends up fighting gods again. It was directed by Nicholas Winding Refn. 5 points to anyone who can tell me how to pronounce that name properly, preferably in audio. It was also written by him, as well as Brock Norman Brock. Yeah, I guess his parents loved their surname so much. And it is starring Tom Hardy. So now, like any other movie, there are some good things and some bad things, per se. The things that I did enjoy so much, and this is my personal preference, of course, was at time. Okay, the sound design is superb. It's very good, it's very eerie, it suits the tone, it matches the piece, it's great. However, there were times where I felt as if the music was louder than the voice. And I'm not sure it's just because of my ears or because of my TV, but it felt like that. The other characters, although they were well performed,
Oh, spare me the Oliver Twist routine, Charlie Love. You need to build your audience.
I can't remember their names. Even if I do remember their names, like Uncle Jack, because it's an easy name to remember, you know, Jack and the Beanstalk, Jack and Jill, I don't remember what he looks like. And I think the supporting characters were just there to push the story along, to be used as plot devices to get Bronson to do stuff, either it being fighting or art. But it would be nice if I could remember them. But then again, maybe it's just me. These are the scenes that seem to go nowhere, such as the scene with Shag Girl and the wife and kids scene, and probably a few other scenes that I can't think of right now. I think this is done on purpose because it's saying that people came into his life, they left his life, and they were never seen or mentioned or spoke about or thought about ever again. The lighting is great. I love the use of the shadows, the red lights. I love that it was natural light. It also gives me a sense of being like institutional light. Like he's always in an institution, and when he goes into the loony bin,
the funny farm.
Funny farm. The light is it seems to be a tiny bit dirtier, especially when he goes in for the first time. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but that's my impression. But I think the lighting overall is very good and nice. It's just spot on, especially the use of shadows when he's in the cage, when it's on his skin, and it just looks beautiful. Especially like the shots that were still, and we just saw what was happening in the scene, and there wasn't too many cutaways, too many close-ups or extreme close-ups. This was expected because it gives me the sense of the entire scene as a whole, and it just lets me look around, and I think it lets the actors stay in character a lot longer without having to be cut action. I love in the beginning when we see the titles of the production companies, we don't have music, we don't have anything to distract, and the first thing we hear is Bronson's voice. I love that they chopped off different parts of him. I love that they showed us him at different parts of his life in the beginning so we can link it up later on in the film. I think that was just very smart and just very well done. The internal monologues where he's on stage and there is an audience, and the audience does move a little bit, but not too much. And I just really enjoyed it. I think it's really well performed. I kind of like the over-the-topness of it. And the face paint, I think they show him at different times of his life. That's why the face paints keep changing. One of my favorite scenes is
when murder goes wrong,
where he reenacts the conversation that he has, and when it's Bronson's half, it's a certain eerie music, and when it switches over, the music is a bit more up-tempo, a bit more lighter. I just think this is very well performed, and that's why it is. It's a performance. There's no cuts in between. It's just him doing the best and being brilliant at it.
Nursey, I just want to know when my trial is and when I head back to the slammer. Right? Wrong, Mr. Peterson. Now let's not play silly buggers, eh? I'll just have to pop you in the body with one of my special potions.
And it also shows the interworking of his mind, that he is a performer. He is always performing. Even when he fights, he's still performing. He plays to the audience, he has a signature move, and that's kind of who he is, a performer that fights people and strangles them. The thing that made the film what it is Tom Hardy's acting. It was powerful, it was detailed, it was focused, it was great. I enjoyed his mannerism, I enjoyed his physicality in his walk, in his quick little twitchy movement, even in his creepy smile that just goes to neutral very quickly. It seems unnormally quick for me for some reason, but I enjoy those little things. I also think that he's kind of like playing two characters. One is Charles Bronson, which is this arrogant, cocky fighter who knows who he is and knows what he wants. He wants to fight. The other seems to be Michael Peterson, who seems a bit more, for lack of a better word, innocent. And especially in that cocktail scene, where he's meeting his Uncle Jack, again, after he gets released from prison, and he's trying to figure out where the straw is and how to drink the cocktail. I like that scene. It just shows how innocent-like he is in that situation, and the scene where Shag goes in on his lap and he's busy flexing. I don't know, it's different from him being the fighter, and I enjoy those littleness, those moments. Another thing about the acting with the background characters is I like the gods. I like the dead standstill gods. I find them funny. They remind me of the gods from the British Palace, the ones that don't move at all. When I first saw this movie, I felt as if the ending wasn't complete, because it seems to carry on going, and I think this was done on purpose, because the movie itself has ended, but Bronson's story is still going on. It's like a vicious cycle where he fights gods, gets into trouble, fights gods, goes to solitary, fights gods. He's just forever going around in circles. And I think maybe that's what the film wanted to say. So what did you guys think of the movie? Did you like it? Did you not like it? How do you feel about Bronson? Because the first time I watched it, I was terrified of him. And what about you? Do you think he deserved what he got? Do you think the situation may have made him worse, if that's possible? Leave your comments down below. I would love to hear what you say. And if you haven't seen this movie, I recommend you see it. I would give it a 4 out of 5 thumbs up. Please leave a rating if you would like. And thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching, and remember,
if every pork chop were perfect,
we wouldn't have hot dogs!
green gloves off, subscribe.